In this video, I'm going to talk about the transformations of points on the coordinates plane. Now, please turn your book to page 34. And what is a transformation? If the position, the size, or the orientation of the original figure is changed such that the weight of this shape is retained and the change is called a transformation. That means the shape has no change, but maybe the position is different, the size is different, or the orientation is also different. And the new figure, we called it is the image of the original figure. In this section, we're going to talk about three different transformations. They are the translation, the reflection, and the rotation. For translation, first of all, no change in the shape, no change in the size, and no change in the orientation. First of all, you can see the figure translate to the left, and we call the figure at the new position the image of the original figure. The translation we're going to talk about is not only to the left, but also to the right, or to upwards or downwards. Let's see. First, to the right, you can see the figure has the same shape and same size, but only at different position. And the second example in the middle, translate upwards. Again, you can see the reference point A. When it is translate upwards by 4 units, you can see the difference of 4 units very clearly for this reference point A. And we usually use the apostrophe for A, we call it A prime, to describe the new position after the translation. And for the third example, translate downwards. You can also see for original point A, translate downwards 5 units to the new position. We call it is also A prime for the image of the original point A. Now, girls, I'm going to talk about the lesson worksheet. Please get ready. For lesson worksheet 12.4, I'm going to talk about page 1. Let's check question 1. Let's see. First of all, for question 1, it said that A, B, C, D is translated to the left by 5 units to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Usually, we will choose a point and then translate first. For example, I will translate A to the left by 5 units first. After is translate to the left by 5 units to A prime, please mark down the letter A prime. And then, do we need to really translate all other points as well? The answer is no. First of all, if you get the point A prime, because the shape and size has no changed, you can just draw the same rectangle by ourselves. What I mean is from A to D, it is 3 units, so I can just draw D prime after I get the new position of A. Similarly, B is down here, and then with C, and then don't forget at the end join the lines. See, it is not difficult at all. And now I'm going to talk about question 2. In question 2, we're going to translate upwards by 4 units. So now I choose, for example, I choose X to translate upwards by 4 units. So that 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first of all, I map down X will be here, X prime. And then 2 units downwards, we will get Y prime. Okay, and then 5 units to the right to get Z prime, and then join X prime and Z prime. Now I'm going to talk about question 3. For question 3, part A, we're going to draw the image P1, Q1, R1, S1 when we have the PQRS and translate it to the right by 7 units. So as I've said this time, maybe I also can translate P first. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have P1 now, and then I draw the same shape and size of this trapezium. Don't forget to mark the new position with the letter, and then join them with the straight lines. However, in part B, we are going to translate this P1, Q1, R1, S1 to a new position by translating it downwards by 4 units to P2, Q2, R2, and S2. This time, by translating downwards, I can also translate P1 first. First, second, third, fourth. The new position will be here, P2. And then later on, we will have the Q2, R2, and then the S2. Join them. By translation, the shape, the size, and also the orientation will not change. But we can go through more than one translation, or even we can translate 3 or 4 translations, it doesn't matter. What if the translation without the coordinates plane? And if we are just have the coordinates of the points, how do we get the position of the image after the translation? Now let's see. For a translation, first of all, you can see the point P at 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to translate this point maybe 4 units to the right. And now let's see where it will go to. First of all, it will go to the 5 and 2. And now, please take a look. When we joined the point P and P prime, can't you see it is a horizontal line? And for the horizontal line, they have the same y coordinate, but the difference in the x coordinate. Can't you see when it is translated to the right by 4 units? And you can see from 1 to 5, it is like an addition to 1, okay, by 4. So it is equal to 5. Now I'm going to translate P to the left by 4 units. Now you can see the point, the image is become -3 and 2. And you can see it also a horizontal line if we join the P prime and P. And now the effects seems like it is on the x coordinate as well. Same y coordinate as 2, but 1 seems like -4 becomes -3. Now let us focus the effect on the x coordinate. When the point P translates to the right by 4 units, 1 becomes 5, it seems like the effect is on the x coordinate only 1 and then to the right +4, so that at the end it becomes 5. However, when it translates to the left, it is 1 and then -4 equals -3. So you can see to the right, it seems like the effect is addition to the x coordinate, while when it is translated to the left, it is a subtraction from the x coordinate. Let's see for an example. P is now 3 and 4. If it is translated to the right by 3 units to P prime, let us write down the effects. First of all, P prime the effects to the right, we have a horizontal line, so we have the same y coordinate 4. However, the starting point is 3. Now it is to the right, okay, by 3 units. That means an addition of 3. So at the end, if we want to write the resulting coordinates of p prime, then it will be 6 and 4. Don't forget to show the steps as well. Second example, if we translate the same point p at 3 and 4 to the left by 5 units to p double prime. Similarly, to the left, to the right, the same y coordinates because it is a horizontal line, but now the starting point 3, when it goes to the left, it will be a subtraction, so minus 5. At the end, the resulting coordinates of p double prime will be minus 2 and 4. How about when we translate the point upwards or downwards? Let's see. Now the same example, but this time I want to move the point like 4 units upward. Let's see. Can't you see it is a vertical line this time? Vertical line. So the same x coordinate. The effects will be on y coordinate. From 2 to 6 upward seems an addition. Okay, 2 plus 4. When we want to move the points like 4 units downwards, let's see. It is still a vertical line, but from 2 becomes minus 2. It seems like it is 2 and then minus 4 becomes minus 2. And now let's see. And so here, when it is translated upwards by 4 units, the effect on y coordinate, because it is a vertical line, it is of same x coordinate. So as you can see, the starting point is 2. Now to upwards, okay, by 4 units plus 4, it becomes 6. While when it is translated downwards by 4 units, 2, the starting point, and then minus 4 when it goes downwards, okay, it becomes minus 2. Now, if we have an example, q is at minus 5 and 3, when it is going to be translated upwards by 2 units to q prime. First of all, it is a vertical line, no change for the x coordinate, so it is still minus 5. And then when it goes upward, just remember it is like an addition of 2. So at the end, q prime will be minus 5 and 5. Second example, when it is translated downwards by 5 units to q double prime. Now, the same starting point 3 goes downwards. It is a minus 5. And then we will have the q prime, double prime is minus 3 and minus 2. Now we will go back to the lesson worksheet. Example 1 on page 2 in the lesson worksheet. So don't forget the upwards, and to the right we will do the addition. And while when it translates to the left or translate downwards, we're going to do the minus, okay, the subtraction. Now let's see part A. If A is translated to the right by 4 units, first of all, translate to the right. You first of all can draw, and you can see it is a horizontal line. Horizontal line, no change to the y coordinate, so the y coordinate is still minus 4. But now the starting point 3, and then to the right. To the right it is a plus, okay, plus 4. So at the end we note the coordinates of A1 will be 7 and minus 4. And don't forget, you can also memorize, if it is translated to the right, it is just like the x-axis. So the effect is on the x coordinate. Part B, when it is translated upwards by 5 units to A2. Okay, translated upwards, you can see it is a vertical line, so the x-coordinate, it is still the same. But -4 as the starting point goes upwards, it is an addition, so it is +5. So at the end, A2, the coordinates are 3 and +1. You can also memorize when it goes upwards, it is like a y-axis, so the effects will be on the y coordinate. Part C. A is first translated to the left by 2 units. Okay, so let me get ready. Translate to the left. Left, it is a minus, and then translated downwards by 3 units to A4. Okay, and then translated downwards. It is also minus for the coordinates. And now let's see. When it is firstly translated to the left, it is a horizontal line. The y coordinate is still -4. And now starting point 3 to the left, it is a minus. Okay, by 2 units, so -2. So A3, the coordinates are 1 and -4. But for A4, it is from A3. So now let me get ready with the 2 points. But this time, the translation is downwards, so there is only effect on the y coordinate, and downwards the effect is a minus. So here, -4 and then -3, and then at the end, A4, the coordinates will be 1 and -7. One more example in your book, page 51, exercise 12D, question 3. A similar example. P is first translated to the right to P1 by 3 units. So P1 and then the starting point. Okay. Now it is translated to the right. It is a plus. And then it is a horizontal line. Horizontal line is just like a x-axis, so it is effect on the x coordinate. To the right it is plus, so +3. At the end, P1 is 2 and 5. And now let's see. Also P2, how do we get P2? Is by from P1 translate downwards by 2 units. Translate downwards just like the y-axis, the effect is the y coordinate, and downwards it is a minus, so -2 units. At the end, P2 is 2 and 3. Now let me go back to the lesson worksheet. Let's try 1.2. It is a level 2 question. Please get ready. Part A is said that P is translated upwards by 7 units. Okay, so now we don't know the original point, but we know the resulting point 9 and 3. However, please take a good look. When we have P translated upwards 7 units and then to Q, can't you also see that that means for the opposite? It is like Q goes downwards for the same 7 units to P. So now let me do the translation downwards from Q. Starting point 9 and 3, and then when it is like going downwards, it is like the y-axis. So the effect will be on y coordinates -7. And P will be equal to 9 and -4. Part B, M is translated to the right by 3 units to N. Since N is the known coordinates, it can be the starting point, so the opposite will be now N is translated to the left to M by the same 3 units. It is a horizontal line, it looks like the x-axis, so the effect will be on the x coordinate -3. Okay, to the left it is -3. So at the end, the n coordinates will be -6 and 4. Let me count down for 10 seconds, and then we will go to the example 2. Example 2, here we can see ABC as a triangle, and then we have all the coordinates, but now these 3 points are undergoing 2 translations. Firstly, to the right by 4 units, and then downwards by 2 units. At the end, they will go to A1, B1, and C1. Part A, we are going to find the coordinates of these 3 points, A1, B1, and C1. Let us write some steps for it. First translation, the starting point of A is -3 and 5. First of all, let me write down to the right. It is the effect on x coordinate because it is just like the x-axis, so -3 plus 4. And then when it goes downwards by 2 units, just like the y-axis, so the effect on the y coordinate -2. And then at the end, A1, you can see I can write the steps at the same time. Okay, and then it will become 1 and 3. And now we have B1, the starting point -2, and then 0. The effect's the same. The first effect will be on x coordinate +4. The second one will be on y coordinate. So B1 we will have 2 and then -2. And then C1 similarly, starting point 1 and 2, and then same effect +4 and then -2. At the end we will have 5 and 0. Double check if you know what I am doing. To the right +4, downwards -2. And now we are going to draw the triangle in the figure by these 3 coordinates. And now I hope you can see you have the coordinates plane. You can write down or find out the translation or double check the translation if it is correct by moving the point A 4 units to the right and 2 units downwards. I am sure you will get the same point A1 at the coordinate 1 and 3. However, the same shape and size, so I hope you will get the same triangle. Now I want you to finish the last try 1 and 2 in the lesson worksheet, and tonight don't forget you also need to do the exercise 12D, question 2, 5 and 21. See you all in the next lesson.